Welcome, everybody. Heads Up Play, episode 34. It's your boy right here, Sam, the sweaty boy, joined as always by Mr. John Rivers Nix, aka Cowboy. Yeehaw. How we doing on this Thursday evening?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. As I don't know if it's been mentioned or not on the pod yet, but I did start a new job. No, in case anybody was wondering, no, we don't do this full time.
I know you would
I know it
think
seems like it, but started a new job. It's going pretty well, so I'm excited about that. But we got some sports to get into, and
before we get into anything, it kind of just hit my memory. You said 34. Speaking of 34, let's get into Charles Barkley. Have you heard about the news about CBS or CNBC or whatever the previous buying back the NBA rights and possibly we will be losing TNT's broadcast crew of Ernie, Kenny, Chuck, and Shaq?
that I have not heard.
How bad will that be for the game of the NBA?
Look, those guys are, I mean, the
I
prime time NBA
I would almost
halftime
go to
show
say,
guys.
like, out of all sports, those 4 are the most enjoyable to watch in any sport, in
I
my
mean,
opinion.
yeah, I mean, just the most camaraderie, out of it. Now there are better groups, I think, like with sports in general, but as far as like halftime crews go, nobody beats those guys. But I mean, you could go look at like College Game Day and stuff like that, but that's totally different, right? But I think you're right. So yeah, that look, they would do something.
They
They
gotta
would do
figure
something.
out something how to bring those guys because it's not gonna be the same if you have Chuck, Ernie, and Reggie Miller and someone. You gotta keep the main core 4, in my opinion. But
So
let's get into it. Let's get into
let's
like you
get into
said.
it, and that's a good transition. And we don't have it on our list here, but I want to talk about it real quick because we've talked about it a little bit. Speaking of television, and
Yes, yes,
rights and
big,
everything,
very big.
big news with not just the MLB, but a lot of other sports. Bally Sports, aka which is owned by Diamond Sports Group. Um, it's the regional sports networks for a lot of areas. So obviously, you and I, we got Bally Sports South and Southeast. There's
East,
Bally Sports Sun in
Sun,
Florida,
yep.
Bally Sports Arizona, Texas, all of these all across the country, and they have been unable to come to an agreement with Comcast, which I believe is the largest internet and television provider in America. So there are millions and millions and millions of people who cannot watch the MLB, their local MLB games, uh, some NHL games. They do a lot of basketball on Bally. I mean, this is massive stuff right here, but especially so for the MLB because of all this blackout stuff. So we look at a situation. Let's just talk about the Braves real quick. The Comcast regional office for the South is right there
There
next to the Braves
on
stadium. It overlooks Truist Park. So, and Comcast is really big there in Georgia in the Atlanta area. Um, so a lot of Braves fans cannot watch Braves games, even if they pay their $140 a year or whatever it is for MLB TV to watch all the other games. They're still blacked out because they live in Georgia. They
Georgia.
will not cut the blackouts for those Comcast customers, so they're just SOL right now. What do you think about this? Because
I'm
this
gonna tell
is,
you,
I mean,
only 2 people are really happy about this, and that's Fubu and DirecTV. Because do
100%.
you realize how many I've seen all over Twitter, Reddit, how many people we got so upset about this, they just joined DirecTV stream just because they have Bally. I mean,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
kinda did the same thing, to be honest.
yeah, I mean, if you think about everything else, all the other TV services that offer a Bally, it's all satellite or cable companies, and that takes a long time to get set up. I mean, it could take you 4 or 5 days. Okay, let me call this company, set up an account, choose my plan. All right, let me schedule a day for the guy to come out here. He's going to be here for 3 hours, setting everything up. He's going to get on the roof, put the satellite on the TV. Whereas DirecTV Stream, Fubo, YouTube TV, which doesn't have Bally, but all these streaming services, it's as simple as making an account online, turning it on.
I can get into streaming services all day long because we dealt with it firsthand. YouTube Sports, no Bally. Okay, Braves is coming up. Let's get Fubu. Okay, Fubu. We got Fubu. Great. Loved YouTube TV. But you know what? I'm starting to like Fubu. I'm getting into Fubu. But you know what? March Madness comes around. What the hell? They don't have the Warner package. So we don't have TNT, TBS. Imagine watching Alabama's Final Four run, not being able to watch it because we don't have it. So we went to DirecTV Stream. That's three services in less than a month because these people refuse to have the full streaming service because they cannot come to terms. I mean, it's getting to the point now, really, DirecTV is the only one that has everything.
Yeah, and it's still not even perfect because
No,
I mean, DirecTV Stream, if you've ever used it, it's got a ton of channels and it's not super expensive, at least compared to, a lot of other options. But man, is it laggy. It takes, I mean, sometimes like a 3-second delay pressing buttons on that thing. And they don't have some features like YouTube TV has the split screen, like you can get the quad box. They don't have that. You can't make your own profile like you can on some other services. So it's not perfect. Um, so I wish there was one service that was just so much better than them all. I guess that would take the competition away. But it's getting downright ridiculous with the MLB and this blackout stuff because the simple solution is to offer MLB TV like an NBA TV type deal or NFL, where you can just have your television package, but also just choose all, get your add on as you get every single MLB game, which you can do that, but you're going to be blacked out, right? Or just allow people to get MLB TV
you would it
and
makes
watch any game they want, even
Sam,
if it's local.
Sam, that makes too much sense.
100.
Why would we do that? That makes too much sense. Come on, man. Well, you know what? Let me tell you who don't want to watch their team play right now, and that's the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They don't want to see their team play right now. Tell me why, Sam.
Oh, they lost their superstar player.
Again,
Uh, they lost their other superstar player. They lost one superstar player to their crosstown
their
rival,
rivals.
and now here in May, rather, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, so still April. Their other superstar, the OG for the Angels, Mike Trout, yet again goes down. Not for the season, supposedly. I don't think it's been confirmed how long he'll be out, but it no doubt will be for a while. There's been some controversy about this. I've seen Stephen A. Smith come out. He was on First Take.
Look like an
Like
idiot.
the
I
the
love
two
Stephen
times they
A.
talk about baseball all season.
I love
Uh,
Stephen A. But I hate when he talks about baseball. He just makes himself look dumb in that
yeah,
aspect.
yeah. Um, yeah. Stephen A. said, what did he say? This is karma for staying with the Angels or something like that.
Something
Look,
like that.
I think
Yes.
it is stupid that he stayed with the Angels, but look, that's where he wants to be, and he's shown a commitment. I don't think you should knock him for that, by any means. But this is just unfortunate. Look, the guy, I don't want to say he's injury prone, but like a Giancarlo Stanton, but he has had a number of injuries that has kept him out for long lengths of time in MLB seasons, and
Let me
it's
ask you
cost
what
him
happens
playoff
first.
runs.
What happens first? Does Mike Trout get traded, or does the Angels make the playoffs? What happens first? Give me the Mike
This is a
Trout.
good one.
Give me the
I'm
Mike
gonna say
Trout
Mike
trade.
Trout gets traded before they make the playoffs, to be honest. I do think that their odds of making the playoffs went up prior to him getting injured because he was having a good season. He was leading the league in home runs for a while, and I think Ron Washington is a good man for the job. I think they were going in the right direction hiring
I
him.
agree. Well, I say that. I mean, he's a good. I'm not denying his coaching abilities. He's old though. He's older.
Yes, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I feel like
I
this
think
is. He's not a
maybe three
manager. I
years
would
max.
thank you. I don't think he's a manager that is a rebuild manager. You bring him into like a Houston Astros or
Very much a Dusty Baker type
I'm about to say you don't
manager.
bring him into a rebuild. That shocked me a little bit.
But, again, I think you bring Ron Washington in. I think he's great. He can teach the young guys because he's great at teaching fundamentals. You can maybe build the farm up a little bit, but like you got to sign some big name guys, especially pitching. But also, I mean, the Houston Astros are struggling. The best team in their division is the Mariners, who aren't fantastic. They're just, I mean, I forgot what their record is right now, but it's only a few games over 500. So, I mean, they're in a good position, but
Yeah.
now, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they're just in fourth place to end the season
And
once again.
and you mentioned the Mariners. Shout out to the Braves fans that stayed up to watch the Mariners Braves because I know for a fact my ass did not do that. I
I did
can
not,
I
and I'm an hour behind you or ahead of you, so
yeah.
I'm in Eastern time. I was definitely not. I watched maybe a few innings of the
I'm an
first two
old man.
games, and
Like by 9:15 last night, I was out. I mean after saving all those settlements, I had to go to bed.
I got raided by the Enclave in this new update, so I got to figure out my power armor situation. What
I but
what?
it's
How are we going to solve the jet situation in our community? Um,
talking about Fallout 4, everybody. Hey, well, what he
this
said,
is we're going to turn this into a gaming channel.
what he said at the end of the show, I thought it was so badass. He goes, oh Henry, you want an autograph? Oh, you want an autograph, old Henry?" I thought that was just cool because he asked for one at the beginning. I thought that was cool. But well, let's move on. Let's move on. There's been a little bit of drama in college football, and I feel like he's kind
Drama
of
always follows this man.
and I hate it because I like him, but Deion Sanders. Everybody's talking about Deion. He's taking the spotlight right now away from the portal a little bit, which is good. I'm glad because it gets old seeing portal news. But Deion Sanders drama. He's had a player. What was the player? Xavier. What was
I can't remember what his name, but he went to where did he go? Austin P.
He went to Austin
Transferred to
P.
Austin
Yes.
P. And he got on Twitter. He was interviewed. I don't think he actually went on Twitter and tweeted, but he was interviewed, and his words got tweeted as like a highlight of his interview. I think, basically saying, "Look, Deion
He
Sanders
he tears down their what did he say? Tears
lowered
down
their
their
confidence, their
confidence.
morale."
Doesn't make them believe in themselves. Said he's an awful coach. Basically, who was I gotta find the player's name. Don't bother me until I do.
But yeah, basically said that yeah, he was a bad coach, and that's why he transferred.
Xavier
Xavier
Smith.
Smith, and then
Shadur,
Shadur
Shadur
chimes
retweet.
in,
He quotes the tweet.
and
Goes,
that's when it all
and this
starts
I ain't
rolling.
gonna lie, I like this attitude. I mean, you talk about my daddy, I'm gonna hop in there. He goes, I don't even remember. I gotta find the tweet, the exact, but he goes, I don't even remember this dude. Must have been mid at best. He burned him. Like you can't come back from that. You can't come back.
No, 100. I mean, he probably was mid. I mean, that's why he went to Austin P.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, look, what? Okay, all right. Then comes Dion. Someone like a Colorado fan page or something posted a stat, like a screenshot of the guy's stats, or maybe it was someone else who chimed in who also transferred from Colorado, and posted his stats, and it just all starts rolling. And Dion chimes in. He's like, "Oh Lord," when this dude's
He
stats
goes,
come
it
up.
showed like he had like 8 tackles for Colorado, and he was like a safety. And Dion retweets, Lord Jesus. And then I showed y'all the worst thing I've seen was somebody retweeted the Lord Jesus and posted a photo of Dion's foot missing a toe. And it said Lord Jesus. That was the worst thing I think I've seen.
So, what do you think of this? Right? All right. I get it with Shiloh. Shiloh's younger than us, right?
Yeah.
He's on Twitter. He can say some stuff, right? But Dion's the head coach.
Dion don't need to
Is
be
this going to
doing
make players want to play for him more or less, or will it stay the same?
I think he's gonna make them stay the same. I mean, I feel
At
like the
this point,
person
everybody
that could
knows it's
be
Dion.
I feel like the person that could be hurt the most would be Shadur next year in the NFL draft process do general managers look at this and say, "Do I want to draft this guy top 5?" 'Cause somebody said Dion needs to get his son in line like my boy or something like that. And Dion said, "My son going top 5 in the draft next year. What your son doing?"
What if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? What if he falls to the second round? I mean, then somebody's
Don't
gonna come
worry,
out.
don't worry. The Falcons will pick him. Don't worry, don't worry. They'll pick him. I mean, we need another quarterback.
Um. All right, let me ask you this: give me a record prediction for the Colorado Buffaloes in
I was going to ask you the
2024.
same thing because I have their schedule pulled up right here, right now. I think they lose the first game of the year.
Let me get their schedule pulled up. Who
They
do they
pl-
play first
they
game of the
play
year?
North Dakota State. I
Ooh,
think they lose the first game of the year.
ooh! Don't sleep on the other Buffaloes.
So the
Or
schedule, give me. I'm gonna give them the safety. I'm gonna. I think they're going. I think North Dakota State's going to beat them, but give me Colorado in that game just to kind of be nice to Dion. So 1-0. They play at Nebraska.
think Nebraska. I
Give me
think
one
Matt
and one,
Rule.
1-1 at Nebraska, at Colorado State. I think they'll beat Colorado State. I think they're going to be pissed off after what happened last year. 2-1. Play Baylor at home.
This one's tough to predict.
It's at home.
It might be the first real big home game of the season. Give me Colorado on that
Give
one.
me Colorado 3-1 at UCF. Give me the Gus Bus. Give me the Gus
Give
Bus.
Look, that's gonna be a big transition. All them boys from up in the mountains, they're used to that dry, cool, crisp air. Bring them down in September in Orlando. You remember when those Utah boys came down to Gainesville,
They were
Florida,
throwing up.
and they were throwing up on the sidelines? Oh, I don't think.
Give
Look, and I know
so what
Dion's
is
a Florida boy, but give me
3 and
UCF
2.
in that one.
3 and 2. Homecoming against Kansas State, 3 and 3. At Arizona, 3 and 4. Cincinnati,
Give me
give me
4-4.
give me 4 and 4. At Texas Tech, 4 and 5. Utah, 4 and 6. At Kansas, 4 and 7. Oklahoma State, 4 and 8. 4 and 8 is gonna be my season.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you.
Possibly 3 and 9. So I guess
And
my question is
they
to
just
you: do they ever fire Deion Sanders? Because if I'm Colorado, who you gonna get that's better than Deion for your school? Because you're never gonna be a football school. That's never gonna happen.
we really have to gauge it because even though they went 4-8, that's so much better than the past few
That's what
years,
I'm
even
saying.
before
That's what
that.
I'm. I mean,
And
he raised not tuition, but he raised the enrollment up 65,000
that's what I was about to
applications.
say. Just the amount of money that dude has brought into that university, just off marketing alone, is insane. So I don't really know,
I say you don't
but
fire
if
him. I mean, if it keeps on 4 and 8, 4 and 8, 4 and 8 after like 5 seasons, then maybe. But he's having right now what I call the Nick Saban effect. And I'm not saying this because he's doing as good as Nick Saban, but his swagger and the money he's bringing in for the university, he's doing more than just building a football program. He's kind of fixing a university. I look at it.
I agree with you there. I agree with you there. If he does indeed go 4-8, or even just below 500 again in general, what will the reaction be in the sports world? 'Cause you're gonna get some. You're like, all right, Dion. Like, is this dude actually a good coach? Like, yes, he brought us more wins than he brought Colorado more wins than what they had, but like, it's still in the second season 4-8 or 5-7. Like,
I,
is he really a good coach?
you got to realize they won 2 games, and after the second win, they had Lil Wayne pulling the team out. So if they go to the bowl game, my God, just be ready. And you know what? I'm here for it because I thought that was the hypest thing ever.
Oh, yeah. The poinsettia bowl is going to be gold chains everywhere. That look Shadur. This kind of leads us into another good conversation. Here in just a couple months, we are just a couple months away, and we've still barely seen anything. We only got a little teaser trailer, but EA Sports, EA College Football. It's not going to be called EA NCAA Football. EA College Football 25
Five.
coming out this summer. we're starting to get some rumblings, a lot of speculation about who is going to be the cover athlete for this thing.
It will be a current athlete, they
Okay.
said. I listened to
Okay.
the radio, it will be a current athlete, no former athletes. So, for instance, Caleb Williams, it's not gonna be Caleb Williams. It'll be a current athlete, and they're gonna have different covers, they said. I've heard for
I
each
did see that.
I've heard for each position. So you only have one quarterback. You won't have Shador, Jalen, Quentin Ewers, running backs, wide receiver. You'll have separate ones.
For each position?
That's what I've heard. But like
Interesting.
it,
Let's do this. Let's do a little activity. Let's go conference by conference. Give me one player in each Power 5 conference. Maybe
Power
not
Four.
even
That's
l-
so weird. Power Four,
Power 4. Yeah, all right. So which would be SEC, Big 10,
ACC,
ACC,
and Big 12
and
or
Big
whatever it is
12. I'm gonna
now.
be honest with you. I don't know of many big time ACC players right now
I would
who
probably go, and this is gonna sound crazy. I'd probably go. Dude at Florida State played at Oregon State last year.
DJU. He might be. Could be.
Either
Could be.
him or dude from Clemson. Cade.
Could be.
I'm trying to think of any defensive players. I can't think of no defensive players. Big 12. I mean, you'd be. I'm not. You would be crazy not to have Shador as your
I think you would have to.
either
You would
him or
have to choose
Travis
Shador.
Hunter.
Yeah. So one of the. I mean, look, the Colorado's going to bring in the money. So
Um, Big 10.
Big 10.
I would almost go to say Caleb Downs. The name if you ain't wearing crimson, if you sorry for cussing. Uh, um, um,
That's not a bad answer there.
I would almost go Caleb. Then SEC. My heart wants to say Jalen Milrow, but if they want to make money, it needs to be Quentin Ewers.
You're right. I like all those answers. Wouldn't be surprised maybe Ohio State like a Travion Henderson, like a running back.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm very interested to see. I hope the mascot mode is still in there because I want to play the Blazers versus the Stanford Cardinal.
wouldn't it just turn to a crisp? Um, did you ever play that? You ever play the
It was
mascot? Did you ever
weird.
play the EA? There was one year, I think it was 2009 or 10. It was EA. They had a college football and I know they had a Madden. It was called All Play,
No, I never played
and I
it.
think it was for the Wii. And I had that, and it was
Was
Madden,
that
and
was
it
that
was
the
weird.
was that the cover of Drew Brees?
No, I want to say it was
I gotta look
Brett
it up.
Favre. I want to say it was Brett Favre.
Madden
Um,
all.
Madden All Play, and the college football version was Sparty for Michigan State mascot.
I never played that. I want to say there was one with Drew Brees. I'm telling you, I thought.
Um, but I'm excited for this game. I'm going to play the absolute shit out of it for months. Let me ask you this while you're looking it up. All right,
It was Brett Favre. I never played it.
who you cannot choose South Alabama. Who are what group of 5 school are you choosing to start a dynasty with?
Give me the Jacksonville State Gamecocks.
Okay, outside of Alabama. One
Oh,
outside of Alabama.
um, give me the real Miami football team, the
Ooh,
Miami of Ohio, baby, the Red Hawks.
I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go. Give me the UTEP Miners. Texas El
Uh,
Paso. Put me out in the desert. Give me the UTEP Miners. We're going all the way.
Either give me that, or I would love to. I want to see it on the game. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. They're
Chanticleers.
yes.
They'll definitely be in it. I did a dynasty with them back on the 2013.
I
Did you ever have that game, the
oh
2013, the
yeah,
Heisman one?
oh yeah. I had
RG3, Barry
I
Sanders.
had 13, 12, and I had
I did
the
not get 14. I did not
I
get
didn't get
14.
14. That was the last one was 13. But
So,
speaking about licenses, I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen about Marvin Harrison Jr.?
no, I have not.
So he got drafted fourth overall by the Cardinals. He has not yet signed a preliminary NFLPA licensing agreement, aka they cannot sell his jersey. Most players sign it the night of or the day after. He has not signed it yet.
Has
So
he given a reason
no,
why?
no one has not.
That's not
No,
that doesn't really make any sense to me.
no. So his likeness, like in the Madden games, all that stuff,
Yeah.
it can't be used. They cannot sell his jersey.
That makes no sense. He should be making money hand over fist right now. Oh no, that's weird to me. Have you seen some of the interviews and interactions in the Buffalo Bills organization with new draftee Keon Coleman
I love Keon. He said, "What would he say?" He said, I buy my coats in the summertime. It's cheaper.
and
It's cheap.
at Macy's or something like that
I,
or Ross.
my favorite is Xavier Leggett. Yeah,
I'll be
man.
down there with my family. It's gonna be a really good time. So I mean, yeah, I have had conversations with the Carolina Panthers, man. So I'll just I really
He's got
just
one of them accents from the kids that were on the bus with Forrest Gump when it says seats taken. Seats
please take.
not here, not here. But also some rumblings in the in the NFL. Justin Fields has been rumored to report to be taking kickoffs and punt returns on the special teams. What do you think about that?
There was all right. Let's take a trip back down memory lane to Atlanta, Georgia,
Uh,
November 2018. Actually, yes, November
I
2018. I
thought this
did
was a
read.
national championship.
No, this was the SEC championship where Jalen Hurts comes in and saves the day. I'm pretty sure because I remember Gary Danielson doing this. So this would have been CBS, which means it would have been
Yeah,
the
yeah, it would have
SEC.
been SC.
4th and 11. Georgia has the ball, punting it to Alabama. They bring in Justin Fields, the backup quarterback at the
Stud,
time.
5 star. I mean, he was gonna be a
5-star. He was supposed to be the future. Did not turn out that way. Brings Justin Fields in, Kirby Smart does, to do a fake punt. And he throws it on 4th and 11, and it goes horribly.
he runs it or something like that. He
He
don't
runs
even
it. He runs it. And it only
really
goes a few
loses the
yards.
game. Loses the game on
That
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 play.
that was the turning point. That was a turning point for sure. And Alabama, of course, won the game. Jalen Hurts comeback. Um, but yeah, so Justin Fields, look, he has some experience doing the special team stuff, and he's an athletic guy.
He is. He is. Now I have a conspiracy theory about the NFL. You ready? I think Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift are having their fits right now.
We haven't been seeing much.
Let me
You
tell
know,
you why. Let me tell
we
you
were
why.
seeing
It's a sound. It's a bulletproof idea. Travis Kelsey just signed a contract extension with the Chiefs to make him the most highest paid tight end of all time in the NFL. If you were about to marry a billionaire, do you think you would give a damn about a contract?
probably not, but we don't know what
That's
kind
what
of
I'm saying.
ego
That's what I'm saying. That's it's
we don't know
bulletproof.
what kind of ego Travis Kelsey
You've heard it
has.
here on Heads Up Play. Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift are breaking up.
Let me ask our resident Taylor Swift expert. Hey, how are Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift doing these days? Apparently, they're going to Miami this weekend for an F1 race, so things seem to be doing okay.
Well, I heard Miami's the
But
home.
could be
I
a
heard
front.
Miami's the king of swingers. Just saying,
What? What now?
the king of swingers. That's why all the swingers. Go. No, I don't know. So I'll be in Miami this week. I'm kidding.
That's down the road from me, down in the villages. Shout out Sam Walters.
Well,
Um,
no. Shout out Sam Walters.
no shot.
No,
No,
I'm kidding.
no.
Thank you, Sam Walters, for what you did because I know you listen to this every day. And
Final Four, forever in our minds. But all right, so I don't know where it came into my mind, but we're at about the 30-minute mark. So let's get to a question of the day. Do you have one?
I do. So, does Texas A&M even belong to be in the SEC? And you're probably thinking to myself, why is he asking that? Because I have a list I saw on Twitter today. SEC schools ranked by walking distance from the stadium to the nearest Waffle House.
I saw this.
And dead last, you have A&M. Their nearest Waffle House is 69 miles.
All right, so let me touch on this real quick because look, I am very familiar with the state of Texas. I've spent a ton of time there. There ain't hardly any Waffle Houses in that state. There are a few in Houston. Now, I don't know if there's any in Dallas, but I know there's a few in Houston, but once you get
There's
past
one in
Houston,
Austin. There's one in Austin.
really, it must have just opened up because I spent about 4.5 months in San Antonio, and there wasn't one anywhere nearby.
Here, I got the
There ain't
rankings right
no
here.
Waffle Houses.
The
Okay.
rankings are 1 South Carolina, 0.2 miles, 2
I think it's like
Alabama,
on campus there.
Alabama, point 0.4, Georgia, point 0.6, Auburn, point 0.9, Kentucky, 1.5. They're tied with Missouri with a 1.5. Seventh, Arkansas, 1.6. The Gators, 2.2. Ole Miss, 2.7. The Sooners, 2.9. Vandy, 3.3. Mississippi State, 3.7. LSU, 3.8. Tennessee, 5.4. Texas, 5.9. Texas A&M, 69.1.
That's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Look, we've talked before about Texas A&M and their honest underperformance in the SEC, at least in football and basketball. Look, now they've had some okay seasons in basketball, but I think Buzz Williams is a good coach. They've had some good times in football, in the Johnny Manziel days. Kevin Sumlin was a slightly better coach than overpaid Jimbo
It
Fisher.
was.
But I mean, they came in at the same time with Missouri. If you remember back in 2012, Texas A&M was the leader of that, and then Missouri said, "We'll do it too." And everybody said, "Missouri? Why is Missouri? Missouri's not in the South. Barely even considers the South." Missouri has far outperformed
Or
A&M
A&M.
in football, at least, than Texas A&M. They've been to multiple SEC championships. They
I want to
just
say,
won.
the first 2 years they were back to back
Yeah,
SEC
yeah,
championship in the East.
yeah. Now they got destroyed in both of those
Oh
games,
yeah,
but hell, Eli just took them to just beat
Ohio State.
Ohio State in the Sugar
Held
Bowl.
them to 3 points.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Missouri's doing pretty good, and I'm surprised that they had a Waffle House so close. I'm also surprised Oklahoma had a Waffle House as
I
close
know.
as
I
they
was
had.
shocked to see Oklahoma too. I was shocked Georgia did not have one as closer than than, than Alabama, and South Carolina was the one that blew my mind, being point 0.2 miles. But well, what's your question of the day?
All right, my question of the day: what is the one movie that you can quote the best? That you just like? I know this movie. Maybe not quote it, but just like I know this movie like the back of my hand.
There's about 3 movies:
Okay.
Step Brothers, Anchorman, Tombstone.
All right. Tombstone is one we share. I can quote that movie very easily. I mean,
We
even from the beginning. I guess we win.
we cross. My heart can't bear it.
I literally first line of the movie. Y'all killed two cowboys.
Yeah.
That's my favorite character in the movie. Um, oh, oh, uh, Curly Bill.
Charlie Bell.
Uh, and then, oh brother, where art thou? Is one I just know line by line pretty much. Still need to watch that movie, by the way.
I've never seen it.
And a third one, I don't know if I have a third one. I know that I have one, but I can't really.
I can do Ricky Bobby too. Really, any Will Ferrell
Talladega
movie, I'm
Nights, yeah,
there.
that's a good one. Yeah, and that's an easy one to remember. A lot of those Will Ferrell movies, a lot of quotable lines. So, guys, I think that does it for episode 34 of Heads Up Play. Be sure to give us a like. Be sure to subscribe if you have not done so. We're really building something here.
A
I
lot
really
of
do. I
he's
really
right.
do.
He's
I
right.
mean, like it may not be we're not building it as fast as my settlement in
And
at,
if you go to
at the Bunker
Sanctuary
Hill
Hills,
in
please.
Sanctuary Hills. Um, but
But
we're building something.
like he said, guys, a lot of work goes into this. So we would really appreciate if you could like, subscribe, send it to your mom, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your sister, your dog. Um,
Yo mama, yo daddy, yo bald headed granny.
guys,
You ever say that in school?
no,
I guess that was a Calero thing.
that
All
was
right,
it.
everybody. Heads up
Don't
play.
play.
We out of here.
It's don't play. It's